We are in the so-called rock and roll capital of the world, Cleveland, Ohio, at First Energy Stadium on the shores of Lake Erie. The folks here in Cleveland, even though all the down years, have never stopped supporting their hometown guys, and we got evidence of that a moment ago as the Browns made their entrance. They are ready to do battle with the Indianapolis Colts. Two teams trying to stake their claim to postseason football. Week 14 of the NFL is underway. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Well, this defense for the Browns, they played really well in that win last week against Miami.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number, 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so. It gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it and really gets them amped up as they go forward. I don't mean to jump in on you, partner, but they didn't waste any time getting downfield, did they? I mean, a nice big play there.
3 plays, 3 successful plays in plus territory. Now this defense on its heels a bit.
It seems like they had something targeted there, doesn't it? It's like, okay, we've got a matchup we like coming right out of the gate. Let's go ahead and get right to it.
2nd and 10, a very chilly day here, but no snow. And I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taking them no time at all to get down here. And now they're set up for the 1st and goal.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. The defensive coordinators love that. You got a cornerback willing to stick his nose in there, come up on run support, and stop that pop pass dead in its tracks.
And, partner, one good thing about trying to defend that play, you should see it coming the whole way. You see the receiver coming in motion in your direction. Nice job eluding the blocker, making the play behind the line of scrimmage, but an even big
touchdown. A great play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Colts take it right down and score on the opening drive. Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 7-0. And here's Vinatieri now to kick it away after the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Out of the gun, it's Moon. And he'll be brought down by the Colts. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. The start of this game shaping up nicely on that visiting sideline.
Yeah, how about that? You get your points on the opening drive. Then you get a big sack there on 3rd down. And you make the home crowd go.
There is a hush indeed. That'll be a 44-yard boot, just a yard on the return as he's covered up quickly. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive. Coming off every player's friend, the open week from last weekend.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. Even if you're coming off of a loss, as they did, the open week is exactly what you need after you kind of get over it a little bit, right? Rest up the mind, rest up the body, get yourself ready to go. And they have to be eager to play again, especially since they lost the last time out.
On play action, now Manning. He'll buy some time right. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
Offensively, they liked their situation, so they tried to take a shot downfield, but no one was open. So it was tuck it and run time, and he picks up a 1st down.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. To throw is Manning. He finds his man complete. That's Harrison. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 12 yards on back-to-back plays there, and that's another 1st down.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble. Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
Really nice throw there to pick up the 1st down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
Here's a diving catch right side. And that is caught. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A great effort there. There to make the grab. And the Colts lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ball game. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now 14-0. And here's Vinatieri now to kick it away after the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means...
They're looking for Kirk, but this pass is intercepted. Picked off near the 29. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Colts TD.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They put playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick six. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. Throwing after the interception. Moon. Now he lets it go deep for Kirk. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
Well, we just saw something you don't ordinarily see, and that's him trying to deep ball after throwing a pick six on his previous pass. Normally, they give him something safe to get his confidence back. Instead, they let him fire it downfield, albeit unsuccessfully.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. From the gun, here's Moon. This will be caught by Brown. What an effort. And he will be out of bounds here on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. 21-0 our score after one. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Moon. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Moon. And looking for Kirk, but this pass is intercepted. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. Well, we've seen a lot of mistakes here in this first half, and another there on the interception.
Yeah, they're certainly starting to pile up, aren't they? Because, let's face it, we expect a miscue here and there, but they're already down 3 scores and still giving the ball away. If they want to get back into this one, they've got to take care of the ball, because right now the way they're playing doesn't say a whole lot for their chances.
Flushed out right. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd. Another try after the first down sack. Manning. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 11. There he goes left side. Past the 20. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Browns defense has a touchdown. Well, dare I say it, it's kind of quid pro quo. Both defenses now with an interception return for a touchdown.
Your vocabulary, sir. Well done.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead will be cut down to 14. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And last time, decent field position through the pick six. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field.
And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked off near the 29. And he'll take this back down inside the 20. So that time the pressure got home just as he was releasing the football and caused the pick.
And what it did was it disrupted that fragile balance of the mechanics of throwing the football. You know, from the footwork to being able to actually throw it downfield. If one piece of that puzzle gets disrupted, it affects the entire chance of success.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Second down, here's Chubb again. He takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4.
So it's pretty simple, partner. You pick up a turnover, set you up in excellent field position. The last thing you want to do is go 3 and out in this spot.
Yeah, they would have had to settle for a field goal attempt, but now they keep those touchdown hopes alive. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Nick Chubb hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Browns are back within a score. Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll cut the lead down to a touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And last time, one play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
2nd and 10. Here's James. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Eluding the pressure right. Going to throw right side here. Complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. And he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Season of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. Here's a give to Brown. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it brings forth a 3rd and long. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Flush to his right. And that is incomplete. Well, the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
The Browns send out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Now a quick throw as that's complete on the hitch route. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Now a play fake. Manning. He finds his man complete. It's Harrison. And he'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
Throw on the right side, complete to Harrison. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20.
I can't help but chuckle a little bit because at this point, it can't be a surprise to anyone in the building who's going to get the ball. They just keep feeding him over and over, and he just keeps on delivering.
Into the red zone now. Manning escaping the pressure right. James has got it. Complete. And able to get this down inside the 15 to either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. And that's good for a gain of 6. And that'll make this a 2nd down. They run it with James. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Now the Colts going to burn the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. A great play there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Colts would extend their lead here just before halftime. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead now up to 14. So not much time to work with here. 9 seconds remain in the half as this one is away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Browns drive about to get started. And with only 9 seconds remaining, and not much time, we'll see how they play this. Now they're just going to run it here up the middle. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. So we come to halftime here with the visiting Colts taking the lead to the locker room as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. The Browns going to see the football first, but they trail here as we resume play on EA Sports. This taken in at the goal line. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And they trail here to begin the second half. What's going to be a key for them to get back in the game?
I think they're right there, and I think this game is still up for the taking for them because we always talk about turnovers. They had 2 of them in the first half, and once you start talking about if you have 3, 4, or 5, you know it's beyond difficult to try and win a football game with that. Those have to be eliminated. If they take care of the ball, they've still got a shot.
A play fake. Now Moon. He'll air this one out for Kirk. Launches deep. A jump ball, and this is caught. A big play that time for Cleveland. The defense, they weren't fooled on that post route. They just couldn't make the play.
And the offense definitely tried to fool them because you saw the other route combinations, didn't you? Anything that they were running trying to draw attention away from the deep part of the field, but still had it covered, yet they were able to come up with a nice play.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Going out wide, finds Chubb. 3 yards the gain there, second down.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
Moon to throw. And he's wrapped up. Taken down. Back at the 25. They push him back 8 yards that time on second down.
Enough takes to start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Set them back 5. After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long. Play action. It's Moon. Complete to Newsom. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
And his kick here is good. And that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11. So a good drive there to begin quarter number 3, but they're only able to shave 3 points off the lead.
Well, something's better than nothing, all right? They didn't play particularly well in the first half, but they definitely need him to step on the accelerator now and play a whole lot better.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They had that first half lead, but they have been shut down here in this 3rd quarter, so time to retool a bit.
And probably need to tap into that emotional vein that gets them back to really playing hard and effectively. Because a lot of times we think it's just play calls and this isn't working and they're shutting them down. Sometimes when you get a lead, you lose your edge. You don't play quite as hard. That's what they're looking for here.
Trying to get that edge back as they've watched this lead shrink a little. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal. James. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4.
And Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked by Ronnie Harrison. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. 10. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Browns defense has a touchdown. That's tough there. Starting to mount a good drive. Quarterback lets his guard down for just a moment, and it's going to bite him.
And I was just about to remark how controlled the game they were here in this 3rd quarter, but that return for 6 points, we now have a game again.
So now on comes the Browns offense as they'll try for 2 more. And he's got it. So the try for 2 successful. And with it, they're back within a field goal. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And following the pick 6, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told him, and they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? You just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
Meanwhile, the throw here is complete.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. 107 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. On the ground, it's James. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Colts add on to their lead. Extra point right down the middle. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. And here's Vinatieri now to kick it away after the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. And you figure after giving up that last touchdown, they trail by 2 scores here in the fourth quarter. This drive becomes very critical. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And again, it's Chubb. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on second and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the first down there, but as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
Now a first down throw, Moon. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Corey Willis. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. So after the INT, it's Manning. They'll roll him out right. And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds.
He's starting to fall into the category of not fair because when he's on target throwing the ball, he's dangerous. But when you add in his ability to make plays with his feet, almost impossible.
Yeah, exactly. They've had trouble stopping him in the secondary. This time they've got the great coverage. Oh, he can run too. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. They'll keep it on the ground. It's James, and he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. 2nd, 3rd guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1.
But when you're up by 2 scores in the fourth quarter and you're going to throw the football, expect to see a lot of man coverage because usually what comes along with man coverage It's pressure. So if you're a play caller and you want to keep throwing the football, that's fine. Just make sure your offensive line understands they're going to get additional guys running at the quarterback.
A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. Into a mass of bodies, and I think they held him out. They did. No gain on the play, and it's going to be 2nd and goal. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts, as they'll get it with just a shade under a minute to go in the game. Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. Now the Browns signal for the 2nd of their timeouts, as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. On 3rd down, it's James, and again they stuff him. A loss last time, and this time hitting him for no gain. What a stand so far defensively, and now that's going to bring up a 4th and goal. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This is less than an extra point, just a 19-yard attempt. And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will stretch the lead up to 13.
Well, he was a spectator for much of this game. This is his first field goal opportunity of the entire contest, but he's able to connect.
Yeah, he had a pretty good seat to this one, didn't he? But let's face it, all kickers that you and I know, they want to contribute. They want their opportunity, and he seized his.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And he'll be brought down by the Colts. DeForest Buckner in there to drop him as that clock continues to run.
He was still looking through his progressions and going through his receiver options, and while he was doing that, the defense got to him quickly in the pocket.
And it was a great example of zone coverage. Well executed, well coordinated. All the receivers were covered, and he couldn't evade the rush back.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by Kenny Moore.
With the points that we've seen scored, neither defense has been at their best, but these guys have been a little bit better, Charles, and a nice interception there.
Yeah, you're right about that, Brandon. Let's face it. It's not always how you start, it's how you finish, right? So maybe you have a rough game all the way along, but if you make a big play like that at the right time, it can make everything turn out just okay.
They'll run on 1st down. James.
Oh, he gets free left side.
And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play, so it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Colts, the win pushes their record now to 11-2 on the year. And they will head home next week to take on the Minnesota Vikings. Meanwhile, for the Browns, it's a loss that could have implications on the playoff race as they fall to 9-4. And they'll try to make amends next week as they host the New Orleans Saints. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.